Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 27. To throw is Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. It's caught inside the 25. A big play there for Detroit. 49 yards. And at this stage, down in the second half, looks like they just wanted to find a way to get it in the hands of their playmaker, and they did.
I think you're exactly right. I don't think the coordinator's looking at his play sheet and trying to figure out which play will work well. He's trying to figure out how to get the ball to the playmaker that you just described. Looking down at that sheet, you find people plays, not necessarily X's and O's, and that's exactly what they did there.
Throwing on 1st down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here. Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And this one, a 41-yard attempt. And Prater's kick is on the money. It's good. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. I tell you, the life of a kicker. He has not been called on the entire game. He's over there by the net, but they send him out here in the 4th quarter and say, hey, go tie the game, will you? And guess what? He comes through.
I just don't know how they do it. I really don't. These cats are a different breed from you and me. That's a pressure kick, but that one was never in doubt.
Philadelphia getting set to take the field. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick other than the extra point. That's it.
On 2nd down, here's Wentz. It's complete to Golden Tate. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. First catch so far for Tate, and he's got a 1st down.
Slant route's effective no matter who's running the route and catching the ball. But when you have a receiver of that stature, you have to be a little bit more precise throwing it. You don't have the same catch radius with the bigger targets.
On 1st down, Wentz. And that's going to be too high. Out of bounds and incomplete. Golden Tate, his intended receiver. And now it's 2nd down. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A decent run there following the display of quick feet down just inside the 45. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. Time for a break. We'll come back and see how it all shakes out after this. As big of a play as we've had in this one so far. This is 3rd and 3.
We got 4 now.
They run again with a Ajayi. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Partner, you've got about 20 coaches on your payroll, but there's 60,000 of them in the stands. I don't think any of them like that play.
And the later we go, it's starting to sound like 100,000 in here. The Eagles send out their punter now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. Now the Lions offense, they get ready to head back out there. And last time able to get 3. It's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. It's an 8-yard pickup, and it's a second down. Well, that's a good first step, but several steps still to go.
They still have time for the possible game-winning field goal. Time for them to be quick and hurry at the same time.
Stafford now to throw. Roberts with it over the middle. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. He got 18 yards out of that one, and it gets him a new set of downs. Stafford. Catch made right side by Wilson. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
Partner, they're clearly saving those timeouts, but they still have to work with some urgency to put themselves in the right position.
And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. They're making steady progress, but I see your face. You're worried about that clock.
I'm worried about the clock, and at some point, you have to have a splash play in there as well.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll stop him with a little over 30 ticks to go in the football game. Now Stafford. And he can't get a throw off. He's taken down. What a huge play at this point in the game. Brandon Graham in there to get him his second sack now of the afternoon. Now it's Stafford. Over the middle here to Wilson. And they'll be inside the 35 now at the 34-yard line. And with just inside of 10 seconds to go, they'll burn their final timeout. 9 seconds left. A field goal from this spot would be 51 yards. They'll try to move it closer on third down. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's caught, Jones. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. And here in overtime, if the team that receives the ball scores a touchdown, it's over. If they don't, we can still have some more football.
That's exactly right. If they go down and kick a field goal, the other team gets a possession to either match it or score a touchdown to win the ball game. If both teams kick field goals, the next team to score wins. But if the receiving team throws a pick six or fumbles the ball and it gets picked up by the defense and they score, the game is over at that point.
This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to The 25-yard line. Wentz and the Eagles now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Shorty.
To throw, it's Wentz. Flushed out right. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A really good pickup of 28 yards. Little OT scramble drill that time, Mr. Davis.
And, partner, I can tell you from personal experience, nothing drives a defense crazier than having things covered and the quarterback takes off and picks up a 1st down or big yardage. Because whether you're in zone or man, it's easy to lose track of him because you don't always have someone assigned to him. And once he goes, now everybody's scrambling to try and tackle him.
To throw is Wentz. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Christian Jones able to get in and run him down for a loss of 14. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24.
4 down. Don't go. 120.
Working from the gun, Wentz. And he's going to go down again.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
Here we go. 120.
On 3rd and long, it's Wentz. Jeffrey with a catch left side. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. They get 7 there, but it brings up 4th. I know there may be temptation to go for it here in overtime, but you have to punt the football.
I like how emphatic you are about it, because I know the tendency is, as a player, let's go get this thing. You're actually telling your coach, come on, coach, we can get it. We have that play call. And the head coach has to remember, that play call likely isn't there. Punt the ball away. Punt it away. Be smart.
Trust your defense.
Trust them.
And that one hits a little too close to the goal line, and it continues into the end zone for a touchback. So out now come the Lions. Their defense did its job, got the stop. All they need is 3, and this is over.
Couldn't have done much else other than score themselves and end it. But they turned it back over to them, and now all they need is a field goal to win the game. An excellent job by the defense. Can the offense finish things off?
Yeah, part 1 is done. Now part 2. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. First throw in overtime for Stafford. Looking downfield for Jones. It got his man complete. And that one results in 35 yards.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught inside the 20. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. He got 29 yards that time. From the red zone now, Stafford. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Jordan Hicks. And to the 12, that's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line. So we will see yet another drive in this overtime.
For whatever reason, neither team able to finish this game off. I know that the first thought is, does anyone really want to win it? But I think that they both desperately want to win it, and sometimes you force things, and that leads to errors.
Well, it's out there for the taking. We'll see who can do it. They'll start out on the ground with a giant. And he'll go down after losing yardage at the 10. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Well, you had to punt on your first drive, and on the first play of the second drive, you end up going backwards. I would dare say they need something good to happen right here, right now.
Go, go. 20. 81.
Wentz to throw on second down. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. A good pickup there, a 22. Backed up deep in their own territory. They were in search of a cushion, and the cushion was found.
And you have to think total game, even in overtime. As a head coach, field position still counts in this spot. So they had to get out from the shadow of their own goal line, get themselves some breathing room. Obviously, that helps them on offense, but it may help their defense, too. Might be necessary here in OT.
And down he goes. They bring down Wentz on the sack. Hey, Sean Robinson coming up the middle, gets him there for a loss of about 9. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Now Wentz. Under pressure again, and down he goes again.
I think normally we would talk about this more with basketball players and football players, but let's adopt it in this case. He's a stat sheet stuffer.
Had the interception earlier, now a sack. What, he just needs a touchdown for the trifecta.
That's about all he needs, and he's going to go for it.
Eagles coming up here on a 3rd and long, so Wentz and company with some work to do after the sack.
Check. Ram.
Shotgun now for Wentz. Jeffrey reels it in over the middle. A heck of a play there on 3rd down, but amazingly, they're still short for 4th.
I don't know how many times, not just in my playing career, but you and I working together, have we ever heard a coach say, you know, I just don't have that play on my call sheet. And that's really what we had here. That was a big hole they were trying to get out of.
Yeah, big gain, still a ways to go, though. The Eagles indeed snap it. Wentz under a heavy rush, and down he goes. The Eagles unable to convert there on 4th. And the Lions will get the football back in terrific field position. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. A first down carry here for Johnson. And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Trying to lay one up deep. Oh, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jalen Mills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. A costly mistake here in OT.
And you know what they say when you throw an interception like that in overtime? You don't usually get a chance to throw a second one. I mean, I'm not sure the analytics on it. Let's ask Marvin, our statistician, to ring that down for us. That's typically how coaches and teams feel about it. You throw one, you likely cost yourself the game.
So after the INT, here's Wentz. And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down. Once that ball was popped in the air, you could almost hear The silence, the collective breath being held here in the stadium.
Let's be honest about it. We both came out of our chairs, didn't we? All right, anytime you see the ball in the air like that, there is that collective rise, the crowd holding its breath, and boy, oh boy, the moment of truth as it comes down. Man, that was something.
Everything magnified here in overtime. And complete to Zach Ertz. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. His first catch, and it's a big one in overtime. It's a first down. Wentz now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10.
Go, go. We're 20. 44-5. Check. Sunday. Sunday.
From the gun, it's Wentz. He goes full extension, and he's got it. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
I know you don't get anything extra for degree of difficulty, but maybe you should. He's done absolutely everything in this game today, including laying out for that one.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now Wentz again. Stepping up, he's going to keep it. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Wentz can pull it down when he needs to, and the 6'5" quarterback picks up the first down.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw. So maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
Now it's Ajayi. And he's going to get it across the midfield stripe into Lion territory. He was brought down by Devon Kennard.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
82.
Now Wentz throwing on 2nd down. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A nice gain of 21 yards. And you definitely could make the case we might not even be in overtime had he not thrown 3 interceptions in regulation. But looking better here so far in OT.
Yeah, and when you think about what a coach is thinking at that point, because normally you've thrown 3 picks during the game, you might craft your play calling to be a little more careful. Not in this case. The green light is still on for him.
Sunday.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Credit the tackle that time to Deshaun Hand. And I know you, with every carry, especially in overtime, you're just saying, if you're that ball carrier, hold on to the football.
Hold on to it, protect it, but not necessarily settling, because you're trying to get to the end zone. You're trying to end the game right here. And I know the defensive guys, poking, clawing, raking, trying to knock the ball free and protect their end zone.
Yeah, like you alluded to, especially this part of the field.
Let's go. Great.
Now they try the right side here. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Eagles on 3rd down. A pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Throwing now is Wentz. They dump off underneath to Ajayi. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the red zone here at the 22-yard line. Now on 4th down, we've got a whistle here and a timeout. They'll be down to just 1 remaining as we step aside here in overtime. Oh, they get to the football. It's blocked.
And, partner, right away, I'm brought back to the words of my special teams coach when I played in college. Sometimes you just have to want to go block a kick.
And here with a chance to win the game at OT on the O-line, you got to max protect.
It's amazing, isn't it? You spend all that time in practice, you go over all the different possibilities, and with the game's on the line, someone leaks through, and now you got a block kick.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Wide open receiver complete. And a nice gain of 21 yards. They go play action here on first down. Steps away to his left. They'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's second down.
Yeah, not much there that time, and I think we were both wondering once he got out of the box whether he just throw the ball away and he winds up only picking up a yard or two.
Here's Stafford now on second down. Oh, he almost had it. Would have been a big interception here in OT. Instead, it'll give him another shot on third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Looking deep down. This is caught inside the 15. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal. So often in overtime, Charles, games are won or lost on one big play. That might have been that big play right there.
And the ability to execute it despite the stakes, because let's face it, we've been there before. We've seen guys, maybe they hyperventilate a little bit when it's their opportunity. Not in this situation. They executed it calmly, and they really got it done.
And now they're set up in prime position. Well, we thought this game would be a good one. It did not disappoint into overtime, and it took the field goal to win it.
And we always pay lip service to how important it is to play defense. And usually we focus on the big offensive pyrotechnics, right? But in this case, they got the ball back on defense, gave themselves a chance, and they capitalized on it with a victory.
And I don't care what distance that field goes from in overtime. The knees are always knocking, but he pushed it through.
Not only that, think about your snapper, your holder. A lot of nerves for them, too, because they have to do their job in order to give him one last chance to put a foot to it.
And for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports.